This is the first time that she has left her home in 5 years to go out in public. Sitting next to her is her daughter Sherry, who says she's really worried about Mom. Darlene, I know it was very difficult for you to come here, but you said you wanted to do it for your daughter. You haven't been out of the house in 5 years. What's it like? What's happening to you?
It's very frightening.
Are you frightened? Yeah.
I find it incredible that when I do decide to come out, it's in front of her.
You came out big time, didn't you?
Yeah, I could have come out in my hometown and been in front of a lot less people.
When did that all occur to you? After you'd already come out,
After I was already on the plane.
Oh, that's what I call doing it big time. What... We know what it's like to be out. What's it like to live alone? And are you really in the house? Have you really been in the house?
I'm really in the house. I have I leave the house to go to the doctor's office to get blood work and flu shots and that sort of thing, but they come out to the car and draw the blood.
How often do you do that?
Once every month to 3 months I have to go in for blood work. And for a while, I could get in using my cane. I could get to the back door, and they would come and do it. But then I got to where I couldn't even do that. So the wheelchair that you got for me has been liberating, to say the least. I found that that just being out was so exhilarating that it didn't bother me as much that people stared or anything like I thought it would. Because I just hadn't been out in so long, you know, that what's it like to be inside the house? Well, you watch a lot of Jessy Raphael. You do cross-stitch. Just recently, I began taking correspondence courses to get my high school diploma. And you look out the window at the flowers because you can't get out in the garden. And you feel guilty.
What do you feel guilty
about? Because your family has taken over your life. They do the shopping. They do the cleaning. They cook meals, they prepare meals.
That's right.
Yes. There's been just going between the bathroom and the bed, and there's sometimes, you know, if something's in the way, you know, but the one in the shower was definitely
the worst.
Yeah, the scariest.
I thought maybe I'd talk.
We can't get along.
We've been doing all this warm, wonderful family stuff about Sherry and Darlene and Mark, and now you say to me this doesn't apply in your case?
I love her dearly. Oh, I love her with my heart and my soul. But we don't see the same thing the same way. We can't share the same kitchen. We don't put things in the same place.
Aha, one of those. Well, that's not that abnormal, I don't think. Frances, you've been overweight since you can remember?
Since a child, about early teens, maybe 9, 10 years old.
And when Greta was 1 year old, she weighed 100 pounds?
Almost 100, yeah.
Almost 100. That's a lot.
But she wasn't fat.
She was fat.
She was very tall. She had verbal, physical, mental skills of a 3-year-old. She could walk, she could talk, she was completely toilet trained.
I was a good girl for a while.
Only for a while.
Only for a while.
She lets you have a zinger. Dear me. What is the feeling about not really being able to go, because that's what we're addressing, the feeling of not really being able to go out when you want and do what you want?
I'm not comfortable other than in places where I am secure. I've worked all my life.
Okay.
And my life begins and ends with the work. From the age of about 10 to the age of work, which is what it is, I came home, went to bed, went to school, came home, went to bed, slept whole weekends away. Had no friends, never left the house, was completely isolated. I could count friends in my whole childhood.
Because of the weight, you would go to bed on Friday after school and sleep the weekend and wake up in time to go back to school.
Right.
What about your daughter, Greta? Greta is now about 700 pounds?
We don't know.
Yes.
We don't want to know personally.
I don't want to know.
My parents, they love me, they respect me, but they have a little blind spot. They can't see anyone overweight.
They can't see past the weight. My grandparents are like that.
I love them dearly. I worship them. My father is fantastic. He's a lecturer on herbs. He's a commissioner of roads where he lives. He's in his almost 80 years old. He gets around. He is tall, handsome, good-looking. When he talks, women swoon at his feet.
But, Dad, what does it mean to do for both of you? Everything, right?
She's very helpful. Very helpful.
Would be good, though, if they could do things for themselves, yeah?
Sometimes, yeah.
Is that a wish?
Sort of, yeah. I'm basically used to taking care of them because I've always basically have. And...
But, pardon me for saying that, that's a lot of burden on a young girl.
Yeah, sometimes.
You know, if she's going to have her own life, it's pretty important.
She does have her own life.
Tell them what you do.
She does.
Tell her what you do.
Tell them what you do.
What do I do?
What do you do?
What do you do when you're not with us?
Oh, I do a lot of other stuff in school. I'm like in band and swim team and chorus and everything, and so...
I know what they were saying. It's hard, believe me, it's very hard. But when you love somebody, it doesn't matter how long, what you got to do, or how long it takes. It doesn't matter as long as I do it, because he took care of me. And I told him, it's time for me to take care of you. He says, what are you talking about? He said, I can take care of myself. Everybody gets the interpretation that he never took care of himself, but he did. He went to the bathroom by himself. He washed himself, washed his hair, combed his hair. There was nothing I had to do except for bring him his meals, answer the telephone. Nothing strenuous. Everybody think, well, did he actually wash his own back? Yes, he did. He actually washed his own back.
Lottie?
Huh?
He was a kind man.
Oh, a gentleman. Once you got to know him, you didn't look at the weight anymore. Everybody told me when they walk into the house, there's some sort of peace in the house. I'd be like, well, you want to meet my Uncle Pap? They'd be like, yeah. They come and meet him. They're like, he's cool, man, he's cool. I'm like, that's the way he is. He's a gentle giant.
Didn't you ever feel restricted? Didn't you ever just get tired?
I would lie. If I tell you no, I would lie.
That's what I worry about, because I know that, well, I've seen the times that my husband, when he's fixed breakfast for me, he tries so hard to be
exactly
on an even keel emotionally, but sometimes that little hint of, I'm really tired of this routine, you know, creeps
I would
in.
think that would be normal and natural.
And the kids, you know, I mean, it's got to be when you're holding down a job, going to college, and then you come home and you have to fix a meal and you have to.
I was tired,
have been
but
tiring.
I was very tired, but it didn't matter.
Did you ever
I didn't care.
it?
No, because while I was helping him, he was teaching me. He taught me patience. I don't have any patience at all. And he taught me patience. He was like, patience is a virtue. If you can wait, it's guaranteed that you'll get it. No matter what, you'll get it.
Kind of, by the way, been the story of my life.
Exactly.
I want you to take a look at this tape.
A lot of people out there like me, my size and even bigger, and they're in a room just like I'm in a room, and nobody knows about it.
Walter Hudson died this past Christmas Eve of a heart attack, and at the time of his death, he did way over 1,000 pounds. He was buried in a special casket that had to be towed. Lottie, I understand you still go to your uncle's bedroom and talk to him. Tell me about that.
Oh, yeah. See, Uncle Pap is, I would tell him anything. Nothing shocked Uncle Pap. And a couple of days ago, there's something I wanted to tell him. And I have forgot. That he had passed away. And I went to the room. I said, Uncle Pap, guess what? And he wasn't there. But I kept on talking because I knew he heard me.
Hate me because I'm thin. I've battled with my own weight problems throughout my life. I battled with the opposite, which was anorexia and bulimia, because I was heavy as a teenager. What I'd like to make a point, and the point about obesity is the reason it is unattractive is not, these are beautiful women sitting here with beautiful personalities, and your uncle had a beautiful, these are beautiful human beings. What is unattractive and why it upsets people is because it is so unhealthy. Because what you were looking at is people who are crippled, essentially, by their weight. So essentially it becomes a very slow form of suicide. Now, if we were all anorexic and sitting up here and I was we were all bags of bones, your people who were taking care of you, your loved ones, would get you help. They would feed you. They would say, you're going to kill yourself. All right?
They'd be panicked and you'd be in hospital.
Exactly. Now, I've seen, you've had tears and I've listened to you. No more tears, because you're not looking at an irreversible disease. I know you've tried, you've made efforts, but you are looking at something that can be healed. You can go to your daughter's birth and be in that room. You can walk that baby.
I believe that.
I believe it's right in here and right in here. It's right in your choice. And there's so many ways in America today to lose weight. I want to bring up one other point. Food, in my work, what I've come across, in America, not just for people your weight, 10, 20, 30 pounds, has become a drug. A literal, I see people shaking their heads, where they're not abusing alcohol, they're not abusing cocaine or heroin, they are abusing food. Many of my clients who come to me have been through 12-step programs and are coming off cocaine, and they go right into food as a drug. All right, we live in a very, very stressful world, and food is relaxing, and it's legal. All right, and you need to understand that this is coming from some pain, an area of pain. You've had a lot of tears, all right? You have loving people, but I hate to say this, you're going to be very upset. You're enabling their drug habit. Whoever is making your meals, whoever is making that, you're enabling them.
Now, wait a minute. You're saying, Yolanda, you're saying that the Marks, who I think are very admirable people, and the Florences are, and the Sherrys are enabling people today who are in the 500 and 700 pound range. And
here's my sweet and adorable Darlene.
She is right here.
Hi, Darlene.
Big fan of yours, Richard. Richard, well, one of the questions we made was, do people like this eat more than we eat and not know it, or do they eat exactly what we eat and they don't move as much?
I think it's a combination of both. I mean, I've been fighting weight since I was 7 years old. The activity has a lot to do with it, and the emotions have a lot to do with it. It's a combination, and it's really an individual formula for every person, Sally. You just can't say every overweight person,
Okay, I wanted you to get together with Darlene, and we're going to...
What I'm going to do. I'm taping Sweating to the Oldies 4 right now, but when I'm finished, I'm going to fly into Texas, and I'm going to spend the day with Darlene and her daughter.